Welcome to Stateside Tennis. We're live from an exciting women's tennis tournament, bringing you the latest match action, player updates, and exclusive tennis coverage. Stay tuned for more from Stateside Tennis. The countdown to Wimbledon 2026 had already captured the attention of the entire tennis world, but nobody could have imagined how close Alex Eala came to losing everything before her historic campaign had even begun. Not on center court, not during a dramatic match under the bright lights of the All England Club, but on a quiet practice court where only a handful of people were watching. 48 hours before making history as the first Filipino woman ever seeded at a Grand Slam tournament, the 21-year-old sensation experienced a terrifying moment that sent shockwaves through tennis. One ordinary forehand suddenly changed everything. Alex froze in pain, clutching her shoulder as silence spread across the practice courts. Coaches rushed toward her. Cameras stopped moving. Even players training nearby paused in disbelief. For one frightening moment, it felt as though the dreams of an entire nation were collapsing right there on the grass. The same shoulder that had already shown signs of trouble during Berlin. The same shoulder that had been heavily strapped in Bad Hamburg. The same shoulder that Alex herself had tried to downplay for weeks. Now it had become impossible to ignore. Thousands of Filipino fans who had traveled to London watched the reports spread online with growing panic. Social media exploded with fear and uncertainty. Had her body finally broken down at the worst possible moment? Had the pressure, the endless schedule, and the emotional weight of carrying a nation become too much? Nobody had answers. And that uncertainty made the situation even more terrifying. But to truly understand why this moment mattered so much, you first have to understand everything Alex Eala had already endured to reach the stage. Because this was never supposed to happen. Not for a young woman from Quezon City. Not in a country where basketball dominates the sporting conversation. Not in a place where tennis courts are limited, opportunities are rare, and the road to professional tennis is unimaginably difficult. Yet somehow, Alex Eala had forced the entire tennis world to pay attention. June 22nd, 2026 became one of the most unforgettable days in Philippine sports history. That morning, Alex woke up and checked the official WTA rankings. The numbers confirmed what weeks of brilliant performances had already suggested. She had climbed from world number 35 to world number 30 in the world. It was already an incredible achievement. Then came another twist. When Canadian star Victoria Mboko withdrew from Wimbledon due to injury, Alex moved up one more spot in the official draw. Suddenly, she wasn't just inside the top 30. She became the number 29 seed at Wimbledon. History had officially been made. For the first time in the Open era, a Filipino woman had earned a singles seeding at a Grand Slam tournament. The reaction across the Philippines was immediate and emotional. News broadcasts interrupted regular programming to announce the achievement. Sports analysts called it one of the greatest moments in the history of Philippine tennis. Social media exploded with celebration as millions of Filipinos shared clips, highlights, and messages of pride. People who had never watched tennis before suddenly found themselves learning the rules of the sport just to follow Alex's journey. Children began pretending to be Alex Eala on neighborhood courts. Families gathered around televisions to discuss Wimbledon draws. An entire nation had found a new hero. And what made the story even more emotional was the fact that Alex had earned everything the hard way. Nothing had been handed to her. The breakthrough began earlier in Birmingham during the grass court season. At the WTA 125 Birmingham Open, Alex captured the first grass court title of her career after an exhausting three-set battle against Nicola Bardunkova. After losing the opening set, she fought back with extraordinary determination, eventually winning 5-7, 6-3, 7-5. That victory proved something important. Alex Eala was no longer simply a talented young prospect. She was becoming a genuine contender. Her confidence grew with every match. But nobody expected what would happen next in Berlin. The Berlin Open featured some of the best players in the world. Grand Slam champions, top 10 stars, and elite grass court specialists filled the draw. Alex entered the tournament as a wild card with very little pressure on her shoulders. Most people expected an early exit. Instead, she produced one of the most unforgettable weeks of her career. First came Donna Vekic. Then came Elena Rybakina. The 2022 Wimbledon champion was widely considered one of the most dangerous grass court players on the planet. Her power, her serve, and her experience made her a nightmare opponent. Alex defeated her anyway, fearlessly, confidently, brilliantly. Then came another shock. World number 8 Alina Svitolina stepped onto the court expecting to stop the young Filipina's run. She couldn't. Alex defeated her in straight sets, stunning the tennis world once again and advancing to the semi-finals of a WTA 500 event. Suddenly, everything changed. Commentators stopped referring to her as an underdog. Fans started believing she could challenge the best players in the world. The rankings climbed rapidly. The attention intensified. And with every victory came greater pressure. Because now Alex Eala wasn't just playing for herself anymore. She was carrying the hopes of an entire nation. By the time she arrived at Wimbledon, her popularity had become impossible to ignore. Filipino fans traveled from across Europe, Asia, North America, and the Middle East just to watch her play. Flights to London filled with supporters wearing Philippine colors. Restaurants near Wimbledon reported record numbers of Filipino visitors. The atmosphere surrounding Alex Eala was unlike anything the tournament had experienced in years. Then came the warning signs. During her semi-final loss in Berlin, viewers noticed something unusual. Alex repeatedly touched her shoulder between points. Her movement looked slightly restricted. Her serve lacked its usual freedom. At first, people assumed it was simple fatigue. After all, she had been competing non-stop for weeks. But when she appeared at Bad Hamburg wearing heavy shoulder strapping, concerns started growing rapidly. Questions flooded social media. Was she injured? Was she hiding something? Could her body survive another deep tournament run? Alex tried to reassure everyone. She described the tape as precautionary and insisted she was simply managing the physical demands of a long grass court season. But fans remained nervous. The schedule had been brutal. Birmingham, Queen's Club, Berlin, Bad Hamburg. 4 demanding tournaments in rapid succession. Very little recovery time. Constant travel. Constant pressure. And now Wimbledon was about to begin. Then came the terrifying practice session. The images spread online within minutes. Alex hitting a forehand. Alex suddenly freezing. Alex clutching her shoulder. Alex bending forward in visible pain. The reactions were immediate. Fans panicked. Commentators feared the worst. Filipino supporters watching from London looked devastated. One moment changed the mood of the entire tournament. The dream suddenly felt fragile. Medical staff rushed toward her while photographers captured every second. Nearby players stopped practicing and stared across the courts in concern. Coaches spoke quietly among themselves while fans waited desperately for updates. No official statement came immediately, and that silence only intensified the fear. Messages flooded social media. Please let her be okay. She worked too hard for this. Not like this. Thousands of supporters began posting prayers and encouragement online. The emotional connection between Alex and the Filipino community had become incredibly powerful. Her journey represented something much bigger than tennis. She represented possibility, hope, pride, proof that someone from the Philippines could compete with the very best in the world. That emotional bond made the uncertainty unbearable. But then something remarkable happened. Instead of leaving the practice court immediately, Alex slowly stood back up. Still uncomfortable, still clearly in pain, but standing. Her coaches expected her to stop for the day. She refused. The people watching could hardly believe it. Alex adjusted the tape around her shoulder, picked up another ball, and returned to practice. Not because she felt perfectly healthy, not because the pain had disappeared, but because she refused to let fear define the most important moment of her career. That decision revealed something essential about who Alex Eala truly was. The rankings mattered, the headlines mattered, the victories mattered, but beneath all of it was an extraordinary mental toughness that had carried her through every obstacle in her life. That toughness had been built years earlier, long before Wimbledon, long before the headlines, long before the world knew her name, at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. When Alex arrived at the academy as a teenager, she entered one of the toughest training environments in tennis. The routines were relentless. The standards were brutal. Every player there dreamed of becoming a champion. Most never made it. Alex quickly discovered that talent alone wasn't enough. You had to suffer. You had to sacrifice. You had to survive disappointment after disappointment. And she did. There were difficult losses, lonely nights, moments of self-doubt, moments when quitting would have been easier. But she kept going. The academy helped transform her from a promising junior into a professional capable of competing against the best players in the world. That mindset became her greatest weapon. Now, standing on a Wimbledon practice court with pain shooting through her shoulder, she relied on that same resilience once again. Hours later, updates finally arrived. The injury scare was serious, but not catastrophic. Relief spread instantly across the tennis world. Fans celebrated online as though Alex had already won a match. But there was still uncertainty. Could she actually compete at full strength? Could her shoulder hold up under the pressure of Grand Slam tennis? Nobody truly knew. And yet, despite the fear surrounding her condition, Alex remained remarkably calm. When reporters asked about the injury, she smiled softly and said she was simply focused on being ready for her opening match. No drama, no excuses, no panic. That response only deepened the admiration surrounding her, because this was never just about tennis anymore. It was about character, about resilience, about how someone responds when everything they worked for suddenly feels at risk. Then came opening day at Wimbledon, June 29th, 2026. The atmosphere around the All England Club felt electric. Thousands of Filipino fans filled the grounds waving flags and chanting Alex's name. Some had traveled across continents just to witness history. Others stood outside giant screens hoping to experience even a small part of the moment. When Alex Eala walked onto the court as the number 29 seed, the applause was deafening. The first Filipino woman seeded at a Grand Slam. The pressure was enormous, but so was the support. Standing across the net was Renata Zarazua of Mexico, a player connected deeply to Alex's past. 2 years earlier, Zarazua had defeated her in a painful ITF loss that lingered in Alex's memory. Now fate had brought them together again. This time at Wimbledon. This time on one of the biggest stages in sports. The opening games were tense. Every movement of Alex's shoulder became a topic of discussion online. Fans analyzed every serve, every forehand, every expression on her face. But as the match progressed, something became clear. Alex wasn't merely surviving. She was competing brilliantly. Her movement improved. Her confidence returned. And with every point she won, the crowd grew louder. The fear from the practice court slowly transformed into belief. Then came the turning point. Alex crushed a forehand winner to secure a critical break of serve. The stadium erupted. Filipino flags waved wildly through the stands as chants echoed across the grounds. From that moment forward, she looked unstoppable. She closed out the first set with authority, then dominated the second. And when the final ace flew past Zarazua, Alex collapsed emotionally onto the grass. The release was overwhelming, not just because she had won, but because she had overcome everything leading into the match. The pressure, the expectations, the fear, the injury scare, the doubts, all of it. The crowd rose to its feet in celebration. Many fans were crying openly. Alex herself struggled to hold back tears during the post-match interview. "This means everything to me," she said softly. "For my family, for my team, for the Philippines." And in that moment, it became clear why her story had captured so many hearts around the world. Because Alex Eala represented something rare in modern sports: authenticity. She wasn't manufactured by hype. She wasn't protected from adversity. She earned every step of her rise through struggle, sacrifice, and relentless determination. The shoulder injury scare could have destroyed her confidence. Instead, it revealed her strength, and that strength inspired millions. Suddenly, The questions surrounding Wimbledon changed completely. People were no longer asking whether Alex belonged on this stage. Now, they were asking how far she could go. Could she defeat even bigger stars? Could she continue making history? Could this become one of the greatest breakthrough runs Wimbledon had ever seen? The excitement surrounding her grew even larger after the victory. Major sports networks began dedicating entire segments to her story. International media outlets highlighted the incredible support from Filipino fans. Former players praised her courage and composure under pressure. The Alex Eala effect had officially arrived. Wherever she played, crowds followed. Wherever she competed, attention exploded. And through it all, Alex remained grounded, focused, humble, determined. That combination made her impossible to ignore. Because beneath the growing fame was still the same young woman from Quezon City chasing a dream that once felt impossible. The same teenager who trained endlessly at the Rafa Nadal Academy. The same player who endured painful defeats and kept fighting. The same competitor The same competitor who refused to stop practicing even after a terrifying injury scare threatened everything. And now Wimbledon belonged to her story. The historic seeding, the emotional victory, the unforgettable atmosphere, the shoulder scare that nearly changed everything. All of it became part of one extraordinary journey, a journey that was still only beginning. As Alex walked off the court that evening, thousands of fans remained standing, cheering long after the match had ended. Because deep down, they understood something important. This wasn't just a tennis player winning matches anymore. This was history unfolding in real time. And somewhere beyond the noise, beyond the headlines, beyond the rankings and statistics, one truth had become impossible to deny. Alex Eala had already inspired an entire generation. No matter what happened next at Wimbledon, she had already changed tennis forever for millions of people who finally saw themselves reflected in the sport. And perhaps the most incredible part of all, she was only 21 years old. Her story was still being written. The dream was still alive. And the world was finally watching.